Off the leash, off and running. Week 5 of the books for the Cleveland Browns. Bye week in the books. I'm Mark Schwab, Ashley Holder, Leah Doherty with me for another big fun share. The big program ready to roll.
Ready to rock, Mark.
All right, true false question this week, ladies. True or false, the Cleveland Browns will be a different team on the other side of the bye week.
In a positive way or in a negative way?
That's up for your interpretation.
I think with the 49ers coming in.
Well, going forward, not necessarily versus the Niners, but going forward, rest of season, this bye will make a difference for the team.
If they don't have Deshaun Watson, which I know it's just a true or false statement, I'm going to go false. I don't think we're going to see a vastly different team, whether that's positive or whether that's negative.
Ash?
Yeah, I'm going to say false, that we won't, and I don't think it matters if Deshaun Watson is there or not. I think the fact that they took 2 weeks off before the 49ers, one of the 2 undefeated teams left in the NFL, just don't see that working out in their favor. I don't think their legs are going to be up under them, even though they were able to do a little bit of rest and relaxation. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see them as a vastly different team, and not so much because of who they are playing with the Niners. I feel like the flaws that they have will not be cured over a bye week. I feel like Deshaun Watson, as we've talked about, who we don't know yet what his status is, but when we saw him even with the Titans game, it was his best game, but there was still another level for him to go to. We don't know if he will reach that right away. We do not know. We're all kind of like, okay, it's a nice break, but yeah, we don't really expect a whole lot different going forward. Are you concerned now? Actually, I'm going to start with you because you were at practice. And Deshaun Watson did work indoors. What does that even mean?
Yeah, well, we don't know what he was doing. He just wasn't out. He wasn't out there practicing with the rest of his team. No one saw him. So, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Nobody knows what that means. And we can go ahead and speculate and say, hey, is he okay? Is he not okay? What was he doing inside?
Is it rehab? Is it film? There's a lot of things you could do to work indoors.
Exactly. I have no idea what's going on. But I told you, if I saw him get on a PJ with his girl, I was not going to be sold on that he's doing everything he can. And that's what we saw the very next day. I was checking that Instagram, and she took it off very quickly because they were on a PJ. They took the dogs, and they were getting on a private jet.
What kind of dogs do they have?
They were like little, they look like French
bulldogs.
Yeah, that's what they look like. And then it was a spread of Popeyes. A spread. Not even eating right. It was it looked like a family of 6 feasting on Popeyes.
Amazing.
Yes. So already, and then I looked like maybe 2 hours later, 2-3 hours later, a couple hours later, and it was gone. And I was like, gone. I bet someone was like, don't post. I mean, the PJ thing was gone with her and the dogs and him. The food was gone. I didn't see anything after that. So I feel like, after they're like, don't put nothing. Because it looks like you're not. If you're hurt, why are you going on vacation or whatever? Yes, I understand it's a bye week, but you're getting $50 million. You can give up a week. It's okay. You know what I mean? So who knows? I just feel like Deshaun is not the player that everyone thinks he is. I really feel that way.
This is starting to look weird. Like medically cleared, but he didn't go. Then he's on a private jet, but we got to take that down because it looks bad. Mm-hmm. Then the first day he's available, or the team is available to practice, he's not out there. He's shrouded in more mystery, indoors working BS language like that.
And that's what head coach Stefanski was talking about today, or on Monday. He was, talking about now it's turned from medically cleared to his functionality.
Oh, boy.
He's working really hard, doing everything that he's being asked to do medically, so that we can get him back out there. And he'll be out there as soon as he's ready and functionally ready. Piece there that's important is medically cleared versus functionally able to do your job. And I think that's what, with all of our guys, when you're working through an injury, you need to be able to functionally perform. And that's what Deshaun's working very hard in his rehab to be able to get back to 100%. He's doing everything in his power, working around the clock with rehab. So he's just doing what he's being told to do in terms of his rehab process.
So what's the difference between medically cleared and functionally cleared? What would that look like?
That they're saying you can play, but his arm just functionally can't.
Functionally,
he just can't
couldn't
do it.
Throw as
so why
far,
would you be?
Or Because it's not a pain tolerance thing.
Well, that's what they told us, that
right?
it's not a pain tolerance.
So this is what doesn't make sense to me, and I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I have not stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. However, we are on a podcast, so this is what we do.
We need to call in a medical professional.
He has been medically cleared. If you're coming back from a knee injury and your knee does not have the strength to perform at an NFL level, you are not medically cleared.
You're at greater risk of or even injuring it more or something like that.
You're not cleared. So if your shoulder doesn't have the strength, that's what we're kind of guessing here. If he doesn't have the strength, because they're talking about functionality, why would he be medically cleared? I don't. This is just weird. This is just very, very strange. And it happens to involve a guy. It happens to involve a guy who we're still trying to figure out if he's got a little bit of a screw loose. I'm just going to put that out there. I think we all feel like, what is this guy's deal? And we've come to the first bump in the road, and we're still trying to figure out, what's this guy's deal? Yeah. Why aren't you there if they say you can play? And it sounded like the run-up to the game against the Ravens, the players expected him to play.
The coaches expected him to play. I mean, AVP said he was confident.
Well, he was the one that was saying that he was going to play the entire time. He was the one preaching to everyone that he was going to play. And now he's taken 2 weeks off. And the first day back at practice, he's not there. Or, I'm sorry, he's inside. Doing whatever he's doing.
He's doing work.
Yeah.
Rehabbing.
And none of those guys, they didn't say they took a receiver out. They didn't say they did anything and brought someone inside to work with him. So you can't be working that much by yourself.
No. And would he be working on the indoor facility throwing passes? I mean, for crying out loud.
It could be like PT. I have no, it's not going to be like football skills.
You know what's amazing to me? We actually, tell me, I didn't get through. I think you heard the whole press conference. Did we get through the entire press conference without hearing another phrase I can't stand, which is mental reps? Did they use mental reps?
You know, I don't think I heard mental reps today. I'm not sure.
Oh, there might have been some next man ups, though. There had to be, right? I mean, DTR, next man up.
We've already figured out that guy can't play, so I don't want mental reps to go along with it. That's another stupid phrase that needs to be tossed into the ash can of football lexicon.
What would you prefer then?
Doing his film work.
Doing his film work.
Don't give me mental reps. That is so lame.
But you're not watching film. Say you're out there like he was the week before the Ravens, right? He's not taking reps. He's standing there watching DTR take reps.
You know what that's called?
What would you call that? Watching.
Yes, he's watching.
You're doing reps inside your head as you're watching, right?
See, that is such a bad answer. I hate that. You're taking all the mental reps. You ever see a guy take mental reps, not practice, who's not like Peyton Manning and is actually good? Mental reps usually means going to get his doors blown off when he's out there a Sunday at 1.
DTR.
DTR got
DTR
actual
was
reps.
taking live reps.
He got live reps and got his doors blown off between Sunday
and 1 and 4. It was his mental reps prior.
Oh,
goodness gracious. All right, so
TBD on Deshaun, I guess.
And TBD on DTR.
TBD on everything.
And QB1.
Which is not a good place to be when you have the 49ers coming into town.
No.
And their pass rush.
If they got dismantled by the Baltimore Ravens, which they're a good club, what would the 49ers do to your precious Cowboys?
I saw what they did to my Cowboys last night.
That's like good. Dak might file charges.
What did he have, like 3 interceptions?
Yeah. And then the Niners had the backups in with like 11 and a half minutes left in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. It was what I think the Cowboys had allowed 10.3 points per game. I think that was like a league high. They gave up 42 points last night. They were averaging 10.3 points per game. And this shows how far apart the 49ers are, I feel like, from everybody else, because the Cowboys were, I mean, minus like the Cardinals, like they were viewed as a good club. Like they were viewed as a pretty solid team, and then just
buzzsawed.
Yeah. But my Texas Rangers, though,
outscored your precious Cowboys.
They're still winning, so I'll take the wins where I can get them.
I don't know. Yeah, so there's never, I guess, a good time to be playing a team like the Niners. However, sometimes are better than others, and this is a bad time if Watson is not ready to go. Here's the thing. We might get to Wednesday, Thursday, and he's out there, and it feels like, okay, this is behind us. It's just weird behavior.
And that, I mean, like we talk about the bye week and the weird time of the bye week, but if we expect to see a different team coming out of the bye, I think the only thing we can hope for that's a positive out of the bye is hopefully it helped Deshaun, but who the heck knows if it did or not? And maybe some of that's playing the cards close to the vest of, coaches don't want to give up anything and let people know, let the 49ers know if they might see him or not see him. Mm-hmm. But it just kind of, I don't know. What'd you get the vibe, Ashley? Did did we feel good that we might see him or not? Or
I really have no idea.
Yeah.
I think where Kevin Stefanski could have said, like, yeah, I think he's good to go. We'll see him.
He didn't even say, like,
he
hopeful,
didn't even seem
right?
optimistic
That's
about
the thing,
it.
like-
but maybe he just doesn't want to say anything because he did that last week or
said hopeful.
the week prior,
Yeah.
right? And then he didn't play, and now it became a functionality thing.
That's the thing. The language has changed from the run up to the Ravens game, where I'm confident he's going to play. We think he's going to play too. Now we're
Right.
talking. It's now almost 2 weeks removed from that week of practicing, and it's the language has changed and the tone has changed.
Well, to me, it just sounds like Deshaun is definitely the one that made the call that he wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely
it seemed like
was.
he's the one that just threw everybody off. Like, whoa, what? You not playing? So I feel like that's also why they're like, just don't even say anything anymore because we have no idea what this dude is doing.
That's what it is. It's don't say anything anymore.
yeah.
And this is what you got. What you heard in the Monday presser.
Because now it looked like a shock. Like, oh my
Right.
God, he's not playing. We had no. It seemed like the coaches didn't even know. So that makes them look bad.
That's what you're going to get now going forward is the type of language you heard on Monday. Let's talk running game for a minute because I feel like obviously Nick Chubb's out of the question right now for the remainder of the season. Are you too concerned about the running game going forward, really rest of season? I am, but I would love to be wrong here.
I personally think that the run game will be very average. I don't think it's going to be above average. I don't think it's going to be excellent. I think you may have a couple of games where, who knows, Pierre Strong and Jerome Ford could go for maybe
You're gonna
like
bump into a good
70
game.
yards.
You're gonna bump into a good
but
game.
yeah, like it's not going to be a consistent thing by any means. I absolutely don't think that. And as they've played these hard-nosed defenses, just like the 49ers, I would see the same. I would expect to see the same type of run game probably that they had against the Ravens.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's going to be average. I don't think it's particularly anything that like we would be freaking out over. This is like a dumpster fire over here,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be what it was with Nick Chubb, obviously, and I think it's going to be what it was against the Ravens.
And that's where now, and I'm kind of along the same, I think it might even be a little below average, but that's where, yeah, to me, that is a concern. Because if you're a team that's built on running the ball and setting up the passing game, and Deshaun, we don't even know what he is now.
Right.
You're going to lean on that even more. Yeah, I'm concerned. It sounds like you two have some concerns. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, Jerome Ford doesn't look all that. We've only seen him for a couple of games. He doesn't look all that good.
I haven't seen that much.
He had
of it.
one big, long run against the Steelers that night. And
And that's not saying a whole bunch against the Steelers as of right now for what they've done.
I think the run game would be concerning considering how much they may have to rely on it, depending on what happens with Deshaun, what DTR is looking like. They may really need to be able to rely on it, and I don't think it's something you can rely on.
And they did that, and look what that
Right,
looked like.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. Biggest surprise and biggest disappointment. I could go first if you wanted me to.
Yeah, go first.
Biggest surprise for me actually is this is going to sound like it's two disappointments, but I am surprised at how little Elijah Moore has done. I've kind of harped on this guy a little bit every week, and it's starting to build because this is getting absurd. He didn't play this week, so I don't know. Maybe against the Niners, but we don't see big plays. There's no explosive plays out of him. He doesn't make a guy miss. He gets a lot of touches, and it's a lot of small gains. And I get it. Sometimes guys like that, it's small gain, small gain, small gain, and then bang, they hit a big one. We haven't seen the big one. For all the talk and hype about this guy, I'm surprised we have not seen more. Biggest disappointment for me, honestly, is just the way Deshaun Watson's gone about his business in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's maybe that's too generic and easy of an answer, but
Are you disappointed because you feel like he was overhyped? Because I feel like that's kind of where I'm sitting at, is there was so much preseason hype, not from national media, but from the guys saying he looks better than 2020 Deshaun Watson. Everybody, which is what you're going to do. You're going to talk him up. I get it. You're not going to be like, yeah, he looks average. I get it. You're going to hype it up and you're going to say he looks better than you've ever seen him. And then to come out and then have the performances we've seen, plus the weird handling of things, which granted we don't know, but the coaches and him didn't seem to be on the same page with the injury, what was going on.
clearly not.
I don't know. So do you feel like part of that for you is also you're disappointed because he was overhyped?
No, just as not as much of the hype, but just bad game against the Bengals, bad game against the Niners, decent game against the Titans, pretty good, but it was effective. It wasn't amazing. didn't play with the Ravens. Already the behavior Ashley found with the private jet, and now we got to take that down. He knows it's bad. We got to take it down. But they went ahead and did the activities anyway. $200+ million and number QB1 and all this jazz. You got to act like a professional.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. The surprise and disappointment is Deshaun.
The
surprise that you gave him. The surprise that you gave him 230 already. I think he should have proved a little bit of himself, considering the situation that he was in. You probably still could have kept on to him and just waited to see if this was even going to be worth it. So surprised that this was even the case, at what he got. And then, or for the hype as well that you mentioned, Leah. And then or disappointment yeah. I mean, if you just look at him through these 3 games, they really haven't been that good. Yeah. And I would love to say that mid-season maybe he hits a stride or whatever, but I mean, it just it gets harder for them too. And they're just not. And now you've got to go, 13 games or something with no break and all that. And if you can't practice the next day after 2 weeks off, well, dude, I don't know what you're going to do against some of these teams that you're going to see.
I think my biggest disappointment, totally agreeing with you guys, everything with Deshaun Watson, the hype, the performance, the way the injuries kind of been oddly handled. And then obviously the biggest disappointment is losing Nick Chubb. That's been the biggest disappointment, I think, of this whole season, because how much could he kind of make up for Deshaun Watson's mediocre play if Nick Chubb is going out there and tearing up guys? Yep. Maybe that covers up a little bit of it. That certainly helps if Deshaun's not having his best game, if you can rely on a guy like Chubb. So that's first and foremost the biggest disappointment. That really, really sucks for this team. And then the biggest surprise, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more from David Njoku. I mean, he's been vocal about...
He got so much hype.
Yeah, well, and he's been vocal about, they can utilize me wherever, and I'm happy to go wherever, but... I mean, he had his best production, I think, in the Ravens game. I don't know how many times he was targeted, but that was the most he's been targeted. Also, they haven't been targeting him very much, and I don't necessarily know why that is. But that's kind of something that's a little surprising, is that they're not going to him more.
They don't know what they're doing on offense right now. The only above average thing for this team right now is the defense, and that's eventually going to break down at some point, because they're going to be tired no matter what they say. Oh, yeah, it's our job to get out there.
At some point, somebody's going to get hurt.
Come on now. You're tired. It's kind of like you want the offense to give you some type of production. If you're getting them 3 and out, you want some type of production. Of course, does it always work that way? No. But it's gonna 13 straight games. You're going to be tired at some point. Yes. I mean, unless you like Superman, then cool. I mean, if that's the way, then no problem.
If we're pretty much going deep ball, Amari Cooper, we're not seeing a lot from Elijah Moore, right? And then we're a little concerned about our run game. We're not seeing a lot from our run. I would like to see David Njoku utilized a little bit more in terms of being targeted. So that's something that hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised by.
He was another guy like Moore who had a lot of run, a lot of buzz in the preseason, and just haven't seen it. Right. It hasn't been there. The opportunity, they haven't thrown to him a whole lot.
And that's the thing, is that doesn't necessarily fall on him. He just says they haven't targeted him a bunch. So, they're not utilizing him as much as I feel like they could.
We shall see. Maybe he gets more run here in the second half. We'll start with the Niners on Sunday in a game that I don't feel very good about, but the Browns seem to be feeling okay. But I guess what are they going to do? Say, oh my gosh, we're going to lose. But talking about the Niners.
Really, really good team. Obviously, they're 5-0. They put some great things on tape as an offense. A lot of guys that could do a lot of things personnel-wise. So really good, explosive team. I feel like Brock Purdy does a great job with the ball. And they got a great running back, some pass catchers, Kittle, good O-line. And so, it's going to be – I'm excited for the opportunity to go against a great team. And, we're excited.
They're excited.
Well – Every competitor should be excited about going against the best of the best, and here you go. Hey, you got the best of the best coming to town.
Beat them. They're not going to go undefeated. Might as well hand them an L here sooner rather than later.
There's the hopeful Mark. There he is. Positivity.
I'm trying to be,
this is going to be another defensive battle, and that's just what it comes down to. I mean, the defense is really going to have to be able to find a way to maintain, for sure, Christian McCaffrey, not let him go off. He's over 500 yards on the season already, and he's killing it. So that's one of your first problems before you even get to some of the receivers, right? You don't want Kittle or Debo or any of these guys to go off on you, and they all have the talent to do so. So it's going to take all 11 guys to bring them down.
And Brock Purdy just seems to keep finding a way to win. It's like the greatest story ever. I mean, Mr. Irrelevant, and he's finding a way every single week for them to win football games, no matter which way they have to do it. It's
I personally can't stand the 49ers, so I hate this whole storyline.
Oh, my gosh. So you don't like Brock Purdy? You can't even admit that it's a good storyline?
Oh, no, it's a good storyline. It's a good storyline.
There you go. Be happy for the kid. His parents, they were showing him. His parents run a hot tub business.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was adorable. Come on.
So watching them slaughter your Cowboys was adorable?
No, but I like Brock Purdy. He's a former Big 12 guy. I remember him in the Big 12. I like him. I can root for a good story. Yeah. Even if I don't want to root for the whole team. And honestly, the Cowboys deserve to lose the way that they performed last night. So
I get it. Brock Purdy is a great story.
Thank you.
I mean, for him to be Mr. Irrelevant is awesome. Yeah. You always want to see Mr. Irrelevant do well.
Thank
I don't
you.
care who it is.
Mark,
it's like,
back to being negative.
No, it's like Tom Brady would have been Mr. Irrelevant. That would have been amazing.
There are 4 teams in sports that I can't
That's right.
stand
I've heard this speech.
on a whole different level. They are the Michigan Wolverines, the New York Yankees, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the San Francisco 49ers.
That's right.
Those 4 are on a level that is unattainable as far as other teams reaching a level.
Well, it's amazing that you'll get to talk about them a lot on Sunday.
I will get to talk a whole lot about the Niners, and I hope the Browns beat the ever-living daylights out of them.
Well,
there's the positivity from Mark. Here we go.
They'll probably beat the ever-loving out of themselves.
Schwab, why do you hate the Niners? That makes no sense. I came from another part of Ohio. I saw my team lose 2 Super Bowls to them by the time I was 14 years old. No, I don't like them a whole lot.
He never got over it, and he never got over it.
Never bury a hatchet.
Yeah.
A normal grudge, that's fine. Sports grudges, no.
Never. Never.
Yep. Ask any good Browns fan how they feel about John Elway. All right? Yeah. It's the same kind of thing.
That'll rile up a crowd.
Same kind of thing. All right, the AFC North, everyone else was in action on Sunday. Steelers, Ravens. That was gross. The Steelers technically in first place.
Wild.
Their supporters are still going crazy. They get like 1 offensive touchdown a week.
Let's just be honest. The good thing about this for the Browns is that the AFC North really sucks. They're not that good. So I mean, you're still in it. You still got a chance. That's the positive thing that you can take out of the AFC North. They're
still anybody's
really
grab. Yep.
The Steelers, I believe they get an average of 1 offensive touchdown a week. I might be wrong on that, but they're pretty close. This is insane that they're winning. They're off to a nice start, and we get our usual TJ Watt leg kick because he thinks whatever. Okay, fine. Keep scoring 1 offensive touchdown a week and see how far you go.
Only stats that matter are wins and losses, Mark, right now.
And you keep trying to pile up wins.
And they have wins.
Score, they do. They do. I was a little surprised the Ravens found a way to lose that game. The Ravens have found a way to lose a couple lately. That one, the Colts game, I mean...
Magically not against the Browns, though.
No, they did. They could. They found a way to succinctly win that football game.
Found a way to win that one.
Also out in the desert, referencing a team I referenced a little bit ago, the Bengals, Joe Burrow might be back. The guys in the Bengal locker room said after, one of them said, Shiesty's back. They call him Joe Shiesty.
Wasn't it, he said, like, after his first touchdown pass, or maybe just pass in general or something, he felt like he was back.
He said he felt like he did something he was unable to previously do.
Mm-hmm.
And The Athletic had a great article where there were 3 plays they broke down that basically said this guy's pretty much back. There was the bomb, there was the 3rd touchdown to Chase, and there was just that run where he pulled it down and ran for a first down. If Joe Burrow's back, it changes the landscape of the division.
Totally.
However, the Bengals are still in a hole at 2-3, and I'm not even sure they're going to beat them because they got defensive issues. That's a whole.
Who do they have
issue.
next?
They got Seattle next, then a bye.
Okay.
I don't know what they do with Seattle because I'll tell you what, Joe Burrow can be back, and that changes that offense, and we all know what they are but Joe and Jamar are doing their thing. They don't play defense. And those 2 new safeties back there, they might already put one of them on the bench. They don't stop the run like they used to, and you guys know how it is. That's fine. You can score a lot of points. At some point, you can't stop anybody. You got a problem.
You got problems.
Mm-hmm. You got problems. So the AFC North still very much up for grabs. You had some things you wanted to discuss.
Oh, well, it's
right
bye week, so we're gonna have some fun, right? With some bye week games. Is it technically bye week? Is it behind us? Who knows? Is this our bye week edition of the podcast?
It's behind
Technically,
us.
it is.
But is this our bye week edition of the pod?
Much.
Right, exactly. So So, since it is the bye-week edition of The Pod, we thought we'd go through some top headlines just in the sports realm over the weekend. Mark, get your takes on them. We didn't put too much pop culture in there because we know you don't know a lot about it.
Tragically on him. You should do it just to make fun of me.
But especially after like college football Saturdays, I just feel like there's so much to discuss.
We never get into that as much as we
Ashley probably personally feels hurt. Miami, Georgia Tech. I know you got some love in your heart for Miami.
Yeah, a little bit of love, but not.
Oh
that
my
much
God!
love,
What was your first off? Where were you? Were you watching the game live? Did you catch it on social media? How it happened, and what were your thoughts?
That's why I saw it on social media. I thought it was. Well, first of all, my first thought was I hated Miami's jerseys. I thought I didn't.
So that's why that happened.
Yeah,
probably.
Do you think they look good?
I honestly don't even remember what they looked like.
It was like it was almost like a neon light
I hate
sign.
when teams do neon.
It just wasn't. I hated it for Miami. Then they had like a palm tree that was like bent backwards on it. I don't know. It was really weird. Anyways, that's probably where the first thing went wrong. But yeah, why would you just not take a knee?
So when I
just not take a freaking knee, or just, why would you fumble the ball? Like, there's just so many questions. Why?
When I first saw the highlight, I was like I had seen it at work, and then I was on the phone with my fiance, and I was like, oh my gosh, did you see Georgia Tech scored at the very last second and won? Like, what a crazy ending to the game, not knowing what had just happened like 2 plays before.
Oh, okay.
And then I was just like, wow, Hail Mary, and they won it, and that's so cool, and whatever. And then I looked on social media and saw that they didn't take a freaking knee. And I was like, and then they fumbled the ball, and then the coach was like, well, we talk about 2 hands on the ball. Why don't we talk about taking a knee? This isn't this kid's fault that fumbled the ball. You should have taken a knee. And then I saw some stat that like Miami hasn't taken a knee all season, that they just like don't do that. Why?
Well, yeah, at least the coach said we should have taken a knee.
Yeah, he was like, I probably should have called a timeout and taken a knee. And it was and then he was like, but we should also keep 2 hands on the ball. What?
I mean, he's not wrong there either.
No, but it's not his fault.
But we shouldn't even have to get to that
position
point.
to not have 2 fans on the ball.
Any coach in that situation, you immediately take all the responsibility.
It's literally as bad as not giving Marshawn Lynch the ball on the 1-yard line. That's almost how bad it is. Like, it's just an obvious.
I think this is worse.
I don't know, dude.
This is way worse. You literally won the game. The game was done. Take a knee.
Yeah.
What? It's crazy.
But you know what? That's what that mentality for Miami is.
Well, it ain't working.
They boast. Well, they like, oh, they're not really humble guys.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, sorry guys if you hear that, but I mean, but that's what Miami is. And hey, I guess
you just got humbled real quick.
You could have been undefeated. And now that's not the case anymore.
Right, because of an idiot mistake.
They weren't going on.
Well, on the other side of the country, we had Will Ferrell at a USC tailgate DJing. I think his son might go there or something. Somebody was saying. Can you imagine?
I don't know if that's true. I wonder if that was true.
Well, we can Google if his kid goes there. I don't even know how many kids he has. But
I mean, he's an SC alum anyway, so he doesn't need.
Can you imagine rolling up to a frat party and there's Will Ferrell? Just mixing. Amazing.
I wonder, this can't be the first time he's done something like it, because he's a huge honk for the Trojans.
Well, honestly, he's just
you're right.
Funny guy.
If you're just rolling into your party after party after party, and all of a sudden Will Ferrell is up there, you're like, oh, I'm going to stay here.
He came, so my AAA
base. Frank the Tank.
And he's just funny when you look at him. He doesn't even have to do anything.
My AAA baseball team growing up, the Round Rock Express, when I was a little kid, he had some character or something. I don't remember the name. But he came to one of the Round Rock Express games and played first base or whatever it was for like an inning or something. And it was like the coolest experience of my life. We also had Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie come out to a game because they were filming an episode of The Sweet Life and they served hot dogs to us. I bought a hot dog.
You bought a hot dog from which one?
I think Paris.
Really?
I didn't really know who she was, but my dad gave me a couple bucks and was like, you should go ask this girl for a hot dog. And I was like, okay. I don't think I got a photo or anything, but they were filming The Simple Life.
You need to include this in your biography. Once bought a hot dog from Paris Hilton.
Yeah,
Paris Hilton served me hot dogs.
They were there for a Simple Life. It was pretty cool. Okay, next headline.
That's wild.
Did everybody see the Jags fan just full dedicated attire? We need that here for the dog pound. I'm sure people fully dress up as dogs.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
But like the was it face paint? Was it the dedication?
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do something weird here, which this is an audio medium, and this is gonna center around a picture. So hopefully you are gonna watch this on YouTube.
Yeah,
so
go look.
But this dude is essentially head to toe dressed as a jaguar. However, it's not like he went out and got a really good face mask.
Right.
It looks like it was like a Halloween mask from 1983. If you were alive then, you know what I mean?
No, it's painted.
Yeah, but no, the face isn't painted though, right?
I think
Let
the
me look.
face
It
is,
looked like a bad mask
It looks like
from
the
what I
face
could
is
tell.
painted, and then it's like jag ears or whatever, or
He's got
cheetah
the
ears, whatever.
the-
Almost like a
suit.
prosthetic on his face.
Yeah, I don't think this is painted.
It looked like it
Oh,
was
I don't know.
painted
That
to
looks
me.
like painted. We'll put the photo
I
in.
thought it was painted.
You know what? That is even creepier.
See?
Okay, you know what it is? Is he wearing glasses?
Impressive. Yeah, I think he is.
That's
right?
why I thought it was plasticky.
It's impressive.
And the ears are weird.
That's painted on his face.
Yeah,
because
I
you can see
it
it
now.
Yeah, I'm
and
like,
he's got but he's also got a hood on. So this is a combination of things. It's paint.
Yeah.
He's got a hood on with fake ears, and he's got
a
his
captain.
glasses.
He's got
and
the
then-
captain
and he's got
hair.
his captain suit on. This is just wow.
So I need someone on Sunday to do that dog pound related. That would be great. My next point,
Wow.
this is kind of the intersection of college football and pop culture. Kirby Smart said he doesn't know who Miley Cyrus is. That is crazy to me.
I talked to Leah about that, and I don't think that that's crazy. I could very well see how he doesn't know who Miley Cyrus
I
is.
could see that.
I definitely.
I
can
know
see
who
that.
Miley Cyrus is, and I don't know
just
anybody.
I don't think that's surprising.
To say, here's my thing that threw me off.
Does
To
he have a daughter?
Yes.
Oh,
to
okay.
say he's never heard of her. I don't expect you to tell me exactly who that is, but to say I've like never heard that name in my life. So it was like he had said something, I don't know, he was using some analogy with a wrecking ball. Some reporter answered back and was like, when you say wrecking ball, it makes me think of Miley Cyrus. And he said, who's that? I feel like he was like, I know Eric Church wrecking ball, but I don't know Miley Cyrus. I don't expect you to tell me who Miley Cyrus is, but I feel like most people would say, oh yeah, I've heard of that name. She's like a famous person. Or at least something.
I would think someone like him would maybe, if anything, he would probably have heard a Party in the USA, or he would
Right.
know her dad.
Yeah,
So I'm not
Billy Ray
surprised of
Cyrus.
him not knowing her.
Party in the USA is Miley Cyrus?
Of course.
Yeah, that's
had
the only
no
thing I know
idea.
that she's done. Oh, I guess she's done Wrecking Ball too. But outside of that, I don't know.
So
anything
many
she's done.
bops. Hannah Montana. I was born and raised on that.
I've heard of her.
Hannah Montana. Iconic. My mom and I went to Hannah Montana in 5th grade. We were like in the nosebleeds, 3 rows up from the top, and it was electric.
It was electric.
electric.
What happens with Hannah Montana versus Taylor Swift?
I'd rather see Taylor Swift
Taylor
live.
Swift, of
I mean,
course.
Hannah Montana's
Of
not
course.
touring anymore.
No, I
now, if
understand.
Hannah Montana starts touring again, I'm going to fight to get some tickets, but I don't think she's doing that anytime
You do not want to
soon.
stand in the way between Leah and her show.
I love me
Right.
some Taylor, loved me some Hannah Montana. Yeah, it's my childhood, man. It's my childhood.
We are closing on an unfortunate situation for a man in Wisconsin. It's another one of these where the video is going to have to match it up. But I'll tell you what, this dude just out there shooting a game. He's got his camera.
He's trying to do his job.
And let's just say a pass bounced on the turf and took an unfortunate bounce.
He hit his balls.
Oof. I was just going to say nether regions, but we
just
can
gotta
go
say
there. Yeah, it punched him where and
Well, and
the man fell down like he died.
It's like you had talked about. You wouldn't be expecting it from the bounce, right? I mean,
Yeah, you see the ball coming in, you're like, okay, that's going to bounce over there. That's not anywhere near me. And then it skips off the ground and like a rocket shot.
That's what happened to me at Friday Night Frenzy.
Yeah, you
It
got
hit
hit
my
the other
wrist.
night?
Yes.
on
And I
the
saw it.
bounce?
Yes, on the bounce. It hit my wrist, and that ball was hard.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Ashley texted me, she's like, this game is a blowout and I've been hit. And I'm like,
Yeah, I was ready to
Great.
go. I was very
like,
not excited about
I'm
that.
done. Okay, Ashley, didn't you have
Yeah.
a little game you wanted Mark to play?
Yeah. So, Mark, we have
Surprise,
something.
Mark! Surprise!
So we have this game called Tay or Bay. So
We need
it's
like a little music to
Tay
put in
or
right there.
A or Bay?
Taylor Swift or Beyonce? Ashley and I have joined forces
Yeah, we
because
have-
we're
yeah.
celebrating both of these women.
Right, exactly.
We've joined forces to
right, let's
target
go.
Mark.
All right.
I know,
listen,
this is gonna be an easy-
Basically, the
the answer will
answer
simply be,
is
I don't
either
know.
is either going. No, you
you
can't.
have to pick.
It's
It's
either
either
going to be.
Tay or Bay?
Taylor Swift or
Taylor
Beyonce.
Swift or
So you
Beyonce.
got
Got
a
it.
50-50 shot every single time.
And
Got
you got to
it.
say Tay or Bay, not Taylor or Beyonce. Just Tay or Bay. All right.
Of course. These are lyrics or these are song titles?
You will find out.
Yeah.
when I
Just be
when
patient,
I ask
Mark.
Hey, relax. Jeez, you,
Let's
like,
go.
you came in here like a wrecking ball. Anyways, you didn't get that one. Okay. Anyways, so who said this? If you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it.
That's Bay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you keeping tally?
Yes. That's
Okay.
1 point for Mark.
All right, 1 point for Mark. Who was interrupted by Kanye West in the 2009 VMAs?
That's Tay.
Okay.
Oh, look at Mark knowing some pop
All
culture.
right.
2 points for Mark.
Who was born in Houston, Texas?
Bay.
Ooh.
I should have made him harder.
I know. I'm so impressed.
All right. So who said, because the play is going to play, and the hate is going to hate. But don't worry, baby. I'm going to shake it off.
That is Tay.
Yes.
God, we should have made it harder.
He claims he knows nothing about
Right,
pop
exactly.
culture.
He's a liar. All right. What female artist has sold the most concert tickets ever?
Bay.
Only because I told you that.
No, because she's older. She's been at it longer, right?
She just passed it this year.
Oh,
That's
okay.
5 for 5.
Yeah, wow. All right, one more. Meredith Grey, Olivia Benson, and Benjamin Button are the names of whose cats?
He's been stumped.
I hope he gets
The only
more.
one of those three names I know is Benjamin Button. Give me the other two.
You don't know who Meredith Grey or Olivia Benson is?
Oh, I might know who Meredith. No, I
Meredith
probably
Grey is from Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's
Olivia Benson's
Anatomy.
from SVU, Law and Order. Dude, what's wrong with you?
Okay, I used to watch. It's
been running for 21 years,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah. Okay, I just didn't know the names. I have seen.
Whoa.
Okay, so give me that's the name of their cats. I'm gonna go with Tay.
Oh, okay.
am shocked.
One more.
You have one more?
Yeah, one.
Okay.
At this point, it was.
Okay.
I didn't think he was getting these right.
Okay.
Who did the voice of Nala in the revamped Lion King?
Who did the voice of Nala in the what?
Revamped Lion King.
Love the Lion King.
Movie.
Nala is the girlfriend lion, and
Oh, thank you for
this is strictly guessing, but I will say Bay.
Yes. Voice of an angel. It was beautiful.
We should have came with something harder.
We should have done something harder because I really didn't think he would
You know
get
what? Let's
any
do it.
of
Let's
this.
just an easy one. What's Taylor Swift's middle name? Allison, Nikki, or Rebecca?
Ooh.
Let's
Now
just
this
see.
is for bonus points.
Yes.
All right. Well, most girls' middle names are Lynn, Elizabeth, or Anne, so it's none of those three.
What were the options again?
Allison, Nikki, or Rebecca?
I'm gonna go with Allison.
Oh my gosh!
What the heck?
I am officially off the leash of this quiz, ladies. It's been a trip.
This life makes no sense. I understand
What is
nothing.
happening?